Hey, how's it going, guys? Chris here. Today we're going to be watching The Cost of Living is So High, People Have to Move Back In with Their Parents. Now, is that a bad thing? Not really. I think moving back in with your parents is not the worst thing in the world, assuming you save up money and then you can get back on your feet. Like, assuming you're not just actually in a cost of spending crisis where you just spend way too much money on shit that you don't need, and that's why you have to move back in with them. Anyway, just my thoughts. Comment down below if you agree or not. Full video link will be in the description below. Let's get into it.
Somebody tried to come on here and shame me the other day talking about you 28 years old and you live with your parents. Are you ashamed of that? Ashamed of what, boo? I don't have to worry about no evictions. I don't have to worry about paying no $2,000 on a one-bedroom apartment. I don't have any children. I do work a full-time job, but I be forgetting when it's payday because I'm able to pocket all my money and save all my money. I get home-cooked meals. My parents, they cook every other day. Food be bussin'. Home-cooked meals, at that. I'm spoiled, and I'm not ashamed to say I'm spoiled. So ashamed of what, boo? I'm not ashamed. Life's good over here. You know what I mean?
I moved back to.
I will say that that sort of wraps up what I would say as a child adult, right? They just have no responsibilities, and that's the one problem about living at home. If you live at home and you're not pressured to do anything, you don't even have to cook your own meals. Like you get no responsibility, and then what are you going to do when your parents? At the end of the day, everyone dies. So what are you going to do when your parents die? You're going to have no responsibility. You're going to have no idea how to pay any bills. Sure, you might have a crap ton of money that's saved up. That is if you don't go on holidays and blow it all. That is if you don't have a, drinking problem, a gambling problem, or these addictions. Like, yeah, good for her. She's saving money, and that's really good. But is she getting any sort of adulting responsibility in her life? Not really.
My parents' house from living by myself, and thank God I did it. Guys, I was stressed. I was stressed. Bills was kicking my butt. Rent, food, everything. Guys, I didn't expect it to be like this. People are always talking about moving out. Oh, you get your freedom. Oh, you get, you don't have to tell your parents where you're going, when you're coming home. You can do whatever you want. But guys, have you ever thought about the cost of a bed? The cost of a couch, of a sofa, of a TV, of a fridge? Where are you going to do your washing? Ladies and gentlemen, moving out of home is not a joke. And at 19, although I don't regret the experience, oh my God, I could have saved a lot of money. I was working to pay rent. I was working to pay my bills. And the thing is, I had too much pride. I
will say it's funny, yes, everyone works to pay their bills. That's the whole point of working, to be honest. To pay your bills, save a little bit of money, go on holidays, enjoy life. This guy doesn't think that's the case. Fair enough.
I could never go back home. I could never show my parents that I'm struggling. I was struggling. I'm back home. Back home living stress-free. 21 and I wouldn't change it for the world. Guys, I'm glad I came back home because oh my God. Oh God. I even made an in-depth YouTube video about it. Why I moved back home. Go watch it.
Can we please start romanticizing moving back in with your parents for a year or two after college? And yes, obviously I understand that this isn't an option for everyone, but for people who come from good homes and their parents are more than willing to let them move back in after college, why would you not want to do that? I understand how exciting it can be getting out of college and wanting to go off on your own and get your freedom and everything like that. But it is so expensive in the world today, and if you can live with your parents and bag the first few years of your salary and just put that all into savings and get yourself set up, why would you not want to do that? I live in Jersey, which is an expensive area, and I've looked at rent in places around me where I'd want to live or I could have roommates, and even with roommates and living in not a super nice place, it would take up easily a third of my paycheck. And I genuinely believe that moving back in with your parents after...
Can I just say a third of your paycheck is what you're meant to be spending on living cost. So that's, not too bad. obviously that's not ideal. Like you have a roommate, and it's not like, well, I mean, no, that's ideal. You're not meant to, as soon as you get out of college, live in a fancy place by yourself. So that's reasonable. By all means, that's reasonable. But yeah, I can't agree more as well that living at home for a year or two when you have a full-time job is probably a good plan. Like if you can, it's honestly hard to actually save a good chunk of money once you've got bills, right? Like I can tell you, as soon as I moved out of home and I actually got bills of my own, my savings rate dropped quite drastically, right? But I was lucky that I was, pretty decent with my money, and I saved it up during that time that I was able to stay at home and only pay board, which was a very modest amount. So yeah, I was able to have like a good nest egg. Like it's enough for a house deposit almost. Not a very nice house, I will say that, but like it's enough. And once I'm in a bit better of a situation, maybe I might go buy a house. Especially here in Australia, where the housing market will never fucking go down by the looks of it.
College is the best financial decision that you can possibly make for yourself in your early 20s. And if you come from a good home with good parents and this is an option, I think it's honestly just a no-brainer. And I know like moving out into the world is so romanticized and starting on your own, but I think we also need to romanticize saving money and preparing for your future.
Man, look, don't listen to what nobody say. If you fortunate enough to move back in your parents' house and start over, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't give a damn if you 25, 30, 35, 40. If your parents been working their ass off their whole life to provide a safe space for you and they not broke, man, move back in with your folks and start over. Half of the time your parents be wanting you to move back. They miss you. Move back, ain't no wrong moving back for 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 months to a year or so to start over. That's what parents are here for. Shoot. Ain't no wrong with that. Ain't no wrong with starting over. See, a lot of y'all be so caught up in what society telling y'all, oh, you grown. You don't need to be moving back with your folks. You need to be figuring it out. Man, forget that. If you ain't got to be homeless, don't be homeless. Half of them folks got to go be homeless and figure it out. But God bless you with some good parents. Man, take your butt home and figure it out, man. Stack your bread. Shit. And then you can't bring kids into the situation because don't let your kids be out here suffering because of your pride. Move back in.
Yeah, take advantage of the support system around you. Why play life on hard mode when you don't have to? Like, life can be hard even when you're, coasting and you have everything going well for you. So if you're, you have the option of going on easy mode for a little while and getting yourself back into a situation where you're, healthy and back on your feet, take that option. Why would you go homeless? That seems stupid. But that's just what I think. That'd be pretty stupid. Anyway, guys, gonna cut this video here. If you enjoyed, make sure to watch the full video link below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.